You might think all is lost since the last race of the season was run today in Formula One, with Mark Webber from Red Bull taking the win. But the drama in motorsports is not over. It's just starting. NASCAR, Formula One, IndyCar, and the NHRA barely have time to breathe before their 2012 season testing begins. But what happened this year? I'm Michelle Rahal with Motorsports Unplugged and motorsportsunplugged.com. This morning race report is brought to you by Cat Protective Eyewear. 20 styles to choose from under $15 that are just that, stylish. And they offer exceptional eye protection. Click on the banner at the top of the website and order a couple of pairs for Christmas. Cat, engineered to the core. In NASCAR, it had to be one of the most competitive seasons ever run, even in a weak economy. The drivers are just that good. Tony Stewart made the grade when it counted, taking 5 wins in the chase to grab his 3rd title. The one thing that no one can argue with is that you don't have a clue who was going to make it. Jimmy Johnson was vulnerable, but all the odds early on were in his favor. Brad Keselowski looked like a long shot sometimes and a real threat at others. Kevin Harvick was strong all year, but the brakes weren't there to take him home. And Carl Edwards. The guy drove his heart out and had the consistency, but now everybody knows it's going to take wins to make the big show and wins when it counts. The days of calling a champion going into the chase may very well be over. Johnson will still be back, but look for Ford to up their game. Formula One looked like a rout by Red Bull and Vettel, and in terms of poles and wins, it was. But it has never been more competitive. Hamilton, Button, Alonso, Schumacher, Vettel, all were active drivers this season, and all are world champions. It just proves that the very tiniest difference in the cars and drivers make or break you. Swap any of them out in the Red Bull chassis, and you'd probably have a winner. Button proved his worth through smooth driving and experience, while his McLaren teammate Lewis Hamilton showed that he has got to calm down and allow his talent to shine through. He overdrove that car many times, and that's difficult in Formula One without more experience. That experience came in the person of Fernando Alonso in the Ferrari 150 Italia. Driving a car that was obviously not up to the task, he still pushed it over what it should be able to do, and he delivered fantastic results. Felipe Massa is on the hot seat. The Brazilian hasn't performed up to his own standards since being hit by a flying suspension spring in 2009. He could lose his ride to any number of hungry drivers waiting to drive for the Scuderia. Look for 2012 to be even more competitive than 2011. Red Bull has a great base car to build on, but McLaren and Ferrari aren't sitting on their hands. Red Bull may have a harder time keeping its place next year. The IndyCar Series has a second chance at lifting itself up to higher standards, higher ratings, and even more competition. You don't get many second chances at this level, especially when you've got NASCAR to compete with for eyeballs. I've got faith in Randy Bernard, and he has to take this second chance and turn the series into a phoenix. The NHRA, how can you make it any better? I'll tell you how. You start the season next year, that's how. It was so close this year that coming down to the championship, several of the classes were 1 point apart between competitors at times. I don't have a doubt in my mind that we're going to see the exact same thing in 2012. A totally unpredictable season with a few new contenders in the mix. Stick with us through the winter because we're going to keep you updated with testing, driver swaps, sponsorships, and all the surprises that motorsports has to offer in the modern era. For Cat Protective Eyewear, I'm Michelle Rahal with Motorsports Unplugged and motorsportsunplugged.com. I'll see you later this week.